Okay, folks, so I wanted to share a little bit more information with you about Nevada's exercises and Nevada's Division of Emergency Management. And they host these training courses. And it's kind of interesting to look through some of the courses, some of the scheduled courses, and this is their current schedule here. And there's some pretty interesting tabletop exercises and stuff being planned here in Nevada. But I also do have some of the information from Michigan's training and conference and their schedule of courses too, because, you know, my entire family is back in Michigan, so I do take a little bit of interest in what goes on in Michigan too. So, but anyway, I wanted to show y'all. I got a notification from AccuWeather on El Nino. El Nino watch issued. Here's how it could affect weather in the U.S. Big changes are unfolding in the Pacific Ocean, and the result could have significant implications for the Atlantic hurricane season and the upcoming winter in North America. So there you go. It's another warning from NOAA. And there's some imagery there for you, showing some stuff getting warmed up. And now aren't we having some flooding and stuff going on in Florida already right now, I think? But, yeah, anyway, warning from NOAA, El Nino. They've issued the first El Nino watch in several years. I think when I first moved here to Nevada, back like 2017 or so, 2018. Right around in there, yeah, was the first spring summer I was here, the back porch flooded here on this property, and it hasn't done that since, so I guess I can expect that to happen again this year now. But anyway, this is some interesting information here from the Nevada Division of Emergency Management, and every state has these, okay? Now, the information that I was showing you in the last couple videos about the National Exercise Program, that's different. That's the national. And they're the ones that provide all of the guidebooks and the training and all of that for these local agencies. And every state has a Division of Emergency Management. You can go to your own state's website, and all you really got to do is just put in the name of your state and then like Division of Emergency Management or Emergency Management Services, and it'll come up and you'll probably have the same thing like what I got listed here, which is a list of all of their scheduled courses for up and coming tabletop exercises and exercises going on here in Nevada. And like I said, I have Michigan here too that shows some of their scheduled classes and things. They have one actually, I think tomorrow is, I think that's what this one is. This one might be for tomorrow. And this is kind of interesting because y'all back there in Michigan have some interesting teachers and trainers. Oh yeah, this is the one here. This is the one that's scheduled from April 17th to April 19th. It begins tomorrow. And this is at Crystal Mountain, Thompsonville, Michigan. So I want to go into a little bit of that too about Michigan. But first I wanted to go through a couple of these here for Nevada really quick. There's one here that's up and coming for April 26th called Save the Date, Silver State Blackout. This is a tabletop exercise that they're going to be doing here on April 26th. Yeah, let me see if I can zoom just a little bit like that right there and straighten that out. There we go. Yeah, please join the Nevada Division of Emergency Management, or DEM, for a tabletop exercise, TTX, addressing a wide-scale power outage. In coordination with the National Exercise Program, which is what I was showing you, some of their guidebooks and some of their information in the last couple videos. But again, this is local. This is Nevada's. This is the state's version. And then, believe it or not, there's yet another level at the local level for the different counties and for the different cities. So the city of Henderson has its own training courses and exercise programs as well. So I can show you that in a future video too. But for now, I wanted to cover the state because I already did like the national exercise program. So I want to cover just a little bit on the state exercise programs and the emergency managements that are going on out there, and the future exercises that they have up and coming. And then I'll go into the local as well. And if there's any cities or anything like that that you maybe want me to look up some information on, I can look up some information on your local city where you're at and see if I can find some information to present in a future video. But anyway, this here is kind of interesting. It's called the Silver State Blackout Tabletop Exercise, TTX. We'll look at the statewide effects of a short-term and long-term power outage scenarios. The target audience for this tabletop exercise includes, but is not limited to, emergency management officials, elected officials, public/private sector partners, state, local, tribal, territorial, SLTT, jurisdictions, federal partners. And it's going to be at Fuji Park Exhibit Hall in Carson City. Now, I believe registration is already closed for this. I mean, I do have the course description and information, but yeah, it's closed for registration right now because they're getting close to making it actually happen. And there's some of these programs too, like I believe Michigan offers free federal training for some of these programs and stuff. But here's another one up and coming in May 1st through 5th, All Hazards Incident Commander. Yeah, they're training you to be an incident commander. And I believe there are prerequisites for a lot of these. Yeah, see, like this one has a whole list of prerequisites where you have to go through Intermediate Incident Command System, Advanced ICS, Introduction to Incident Command Systems, Basic Incident Command Systems. Yeah, so it's kind of like, these are kind of like college courses, so to speak, for emergency management systems that they've developed. And here's another one, Community Planning for Disaster Recovery. This one's scheduled for May 3rd and May 4th. And let's see, Hosting Agency, Nevada Division of Emergency Management. Yeah, and some of these even have like these accreditation type of things on them. And it's interesting here, this one has American Institute of Certified Planners. Well, who'd have thunk that there's an American Institution of Certified Planners? How would you like to have that title? Certified Floodplain Manager, International Association for Continuing Education and Training, available upon successful course completion. So they tell you who should take this course: government administrative, emergency management, public works, public health, transportation, a citizen/community volunteer. And they offer you all of the tools and everything that you need. When you take these, you know, you can take these certification classes like this, and it makes you become eligible for certain positions, certain jobs, even certain jobs and positions that don't exist yet, that won't exist until after you experience one of these exercises in person. And something happens, something else happens, and there's a major disaster, and they need to create a new position. Then these people that are doing these classes and these courses and certifications will get assigned certain jobs. And I think that's what's going on there in Michigan, and I'll show you a little bit of that. But anyway, I'm just going to go through some of this is roles for state, tribal, and territorial governments in the implementation of disaster housing programs, planning for disaster debris management. I mean, Nevada offers a bunch of different courses. Planning for disaster debris management, June 1st. Oh, this is an interesting one. Training announcement. Medical management of chemical, biological, radiological, nuclear, and explosive events. Yeah, so you can take this course June 1st to 2nd. And interesting, it would be in Washoe County Health District. Yeah, because there's two counties that really I have to question on their integrity. It would be Washoe County as one and Clark County as another. But anyway, there's all kinds of these training courses, and there's even more. This is just a handful. of some of the training courses that you can do in your state. And this is, like I said, this is available in every state. This is not just specific to Nevada. This is just Nevada's courses. And it varies from state to state. Different states have different training courses depending on the region and the geographics and everything. Oh, Advanced 3, Contemporary Issues in the Emergency Management Organization. Yeah, I wonder how much of this has got to do with some kind of diversity training. Oh, look, they have the academy, too, of that. That's probably another one I'll have to show some information on, too, is the National Emergency Management Advanced Academy, the NEMA, reinforces the qualities needed to lead emergency management programs. So, in other words, they got big enough and with enough participation that they were able to create these senior level positions for people to teach other people to teach other people to teach other people to teach other people. And then learn how to program. Participants learn the skills critical to performing emergency management responsibilities, such as program management and oversight, effective communication at all levels, integrated collaboration, and critical/strategic thinking. The program series consists of 4 courses that are each 5 days in duration, as well as completing a comprehensive paper prior to attending the 3rd course. Okay, it's designed for emergency management professionals with a background and experience serving in the emergency management organization, such as public health. Isn't that special? Higher education, medical, private sector, blah, 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 blah. So you can become certified as an emergency management professional, right? Because this job didn't exist before certain things happened. Anyway, you can learn how to be an emergency operations center interface. Interesting. Science of disaster. Now, this might be kind of interesting to take a course like this. Science of Disaster, Basic Academy, 3-day course. Coming up July 17th to July 19th. Clark County Fire Department Station. Okay. The National Emergency Management Basic Academy is a gateway for individuals pursuing a career in emergency management. Similar to basic academies operated by the fire service and law enforcement communities, the National Emergency Management Basic Academy will provide a foundational education in emergency management. The goal of the Basic Academy is to support the early careers of emergency managers. So this is the beginning stages. Through a training experience combining knowledge of all fundamental systems, concepts, and practices of cutting-edge emergency management. The Academy provides shared classrooms of adult learners and skillful instructors, resulting in a solid foundation upon which to build further studies and sound decisions. Yeah, interesting, huh? A lot of these course materials and stuff that they get are from the National Exercise Program that are developed at the national level. And then they're passed on to the states. The states can use the templates. Yeah. So anyway, that's for July. Let me see. Physical and cyber security for critical infrastructure. 1 day, no cost training. Oh. That's coming up July 27th. Interesting. Yeah. Let me see. Physical and cybersecurity critical infrastructure. Homeland Security Exercise Evaluation Program. HSEEP Basic Academy. See, now that's another organization and agency. Is the Homeland Security Exercise Evaluation Program. That's separate even yet. So, All Hazards Incident Management Team. Public Information and Warning. Yeah. Okay. Intermediate Incident Command System. Some of these are invitation only too, so you have to be invited to attend the course. So that makes it even more special. So that, there wouldn't be anybody that would take advantage of greasing anybody's pockets to get anybody into any of these courses that require an invitation. Advanced ICS Command and General Staff. Advanced ICS Command and General Staff. Yeah, it's kind of interesting that they offer, you know, all of these different courses. And, you know, they've gotten to a point now where they're so big with these training programs and these emergency management programs that their participation level is much, much higher than it used to be. And in the very beginning, when they first started offering these local and state ones, they had a hard time getting people interested. So they had to start developing incentives. And I can show you where legislature and policy had been changed to accommodate for them to build incentive and to market this idea of, you know, people being prepared. And you know what? It's really not anything new. We've always had the Civil Defense Authority. In fact, I missed a Zoom meeting that they were doing tonight here in Nevada. I got an invite from the American Civil Defense Authority here in Nevada to join a Zoom meeting on something to do with nuclear stuff and EMP, and I totally missed it. But we've had that program in place for a very long time. And, you know, it didn't gain a lot of public interest until there's a disaster. There always has to be something, like a catalyst, you know, there has to be a trigger to get people to be interested. And now there's another character that I wanted to show you guys and introduce you to, too, in case you're not familiar with it. There's a Gerald Epstein out there, too. And the name Epstein is associated with something else, but I want to show you another Gerald Epstein. It has to do with some interesting stuff, too. But anyway, oh, man. Yeah, wow. Dang. 17 minutes? Holy moly. I'll go into a little bit here about Michigan's training programs and stuff, too. They have one that's starting tomorrow, Crystal Mountain, Thompsonville, Michigan. And, you know, you have all these sponsors. You have gold sponsors. You got silver sponsors. And look who we got. We got Republic in there. And you got bronze sponsors. Yeah, because these people have no vested interest in, you know, anything bad happening, right? Anyway, this is the Michigan Hazmat Responder Conference. Save the date, April 15th to 17th. Yeah, so I think these are pictures from a previous conference or something, maybe. I'm not really sure, but this is ongoing, like right now, this weekend. Yeah, some interesting operations and stuff that they do there too. But yeah, here's some of the schedule and what they're doing there. Risk-based response to battery emergencies. Okay, so these are what the topics are. Emergency response, oil, hazmat preparation to reality. Back to the basics, grounding and bonding. Overview, validation and typing explained. Interesting. Organize your hazmat team and the incident. Compressed gas safety and emergency response procedures. Yeah, hazmat teams role in confined space. A case study, 5 deaths and 2 separate incidents. Interesting. Yeah, I bet some of these classes and courses would just be interesting to take just out of curiosity. There's one, FBI suspicious package response. Yeah, that would be interesting to learn how to respond to a suspicious package. Oh, interesting, huh? Using gamma imaging to improve response to nuclear threats and emergencies. Meredith Mayers. And now I did look up a few of the people that are doing some of these. Let me see if I can find that. Pineapple Express. Yeah, here you go. This is the one I was talking about. Free federal training. Woo! It's free, everybody. Don't you want to be an emergency management specialist? Yeah. How about that? Anyway, yeah, this is an interesting story. Let me see if I can find the file. I think he's one of the speakers at this one here. This is the Great Lakes Homeland Security Training Conference and Expo. Yeah, Block 1. You got this guy speaking on China RX 2.0, the COVID-19 pandemic and beyond. Oh, it's a book. Yeah, interesting, huh? Emotional moulage, adding realism to training exercises. And none other in Wayne County Health Department, huh? Well, I'm curious. This course is designed to help you teach volunteers how to accurately portray the signs and symptoms of their injuries in your training exercises. So this is kind of like a crisis actor training, y'all. Huh. The course will begin by introducing the concept of emotional moulage and its importance in training exercises. Next, participants will learn how to develop and execute injury scenarios. How special is that? They will learn how to create realistic characters and backstories. Oh, they'll learn how to make deep fakes. Wow. As well as how to improvise and respond to unexpected events during the training exercise. They will also learn how to develop tools that their exercise actors can use to identify how they should behave and respond to the players. So they'll teach you how to be a director of the crisis actors. By the end of the course, participants will have the knowledge and skills necessary to create realistic injury scenarios that can be used to train emergency responders, medical personnel, and other professionals, or to be used in other ways. I mean, this is in Michigan, y'all. This is something that's being taught there in Michigan. I think this is like going on like recent, there's one of the keynote speakers. That's what I wanted to show you too. What? I'm trying to find what the date was, but I know that it was up and coming. I'm pretty sure. Let me see. Huh. It just says registration day 2. I don't know. I'd have to look at this again, but I think that it's up and coming. Oh yeah, May 20th. The session will be an overview of events that occurred May 20 in Gaylord, Michigan. May 20. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, there's domestic terrorism threats in there too, but social vulnerability index. Okay. Yeah, threats and that's one. That one is by the FBI doing that one. Excuse me. Let me line it up with the camera here. This program will provide an overview of international and domestic threat activity involving misuse of UAS. What's UAS? I'm gonna have to look that up too. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, you can learn how to train crisis actors here in Michigan. And this is what I want to get to before I end this. Oh my goodness, 23 minutes. This is one of the keynote speakers that they got there to do this Great Lakes Homeland Security Training Conference and Expo. And in case you're not familiar with this person here, this is U.S. Army Green Beret, retired, of course, Pineapple Express mission leader, rooftop leadership expert. Okay, this is Lieutenant Colonel Scott Mann. All right, and it's an interesting story about this person. And it's kind of interesting that he would end up in a position where he's teaching about some of this stuff because, in case you're not familiar with it, the Pineapple Express mission was U.S. vets volunteered to secretly rescue allies in Afghanistan. Yeah. He wrote a book and everything, and it says a group of highly trained U.S. military veterans has been secretly rescuing hundreds of Allied operatives from Afghanistan, volunteering over fears those allies would otherwise be left for dead, according to a report. The week-long secret operation, dubbed Pineapple Express, has been carried out by a group of Special Ops veterans, including retired Green Berets and SEAL Team commanders, they told ABC News. They were driven by deep frustration, quote, that our own government didn't do this, end quote. Former Navy SEAL Jason Redmond told ABC. We did what we should do as Americans, he said. They initially formed to rescue an ex-Afghan commando who was getting death threats from the Taliban for having worked with U.S. Special Forces and elite SEAL Team 6, ABC said. So he's kind of a star. Anyway, it's kind of interesting. He said that they normally smuggled people into the airport in the middle of the night, either one person at a time or in pairs. Sounds pretty dangerous in real life. Yeah. Anyway, if you haven't heard about this story, the Pineapple Express mission and this guy, you know, you can research it. You can do a simple search, Lieutenant Scott, you know, Pineapple Express. But anyway, he's one of the speakers that's at this Great Lakes Homeland Security Training Conference and Expo going on. So it's kind of interesting when they pull out actors like that to do these instructions and stuff for some of these. But here's another one. Oh, yeah, May 9th to May 11th. There's a Great Lakes Homeland Security Training Conference and Expo in Devil's Place, Grand Rapids, Michigan. Yeah, part of the, okay, that's who's hosting it. It's hosted in partnership by the Michigan State Police Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division. So, yeah. So that's an upcoming one. Yeah, and here's some of their courses that they have in Michigan. Yeah, Advanced Monitoring and Detection Specialty. Oh, let me line it up there. That's one of the first ones, but there's some pretty interesting Chemistry of Hazardous Materials, Part 1. Confined Space Entry. Damage Assessment for Local Jurisdictions. Flammable Gas Specialist. All right. Hazard Communication. Right to Know. Hazardous Materials Officer. Hazardous Materials Scene Management. How about that? You could take any of these courses with Michigan State Police Emergency Management and Homeland Security Division. This is their course catalog for up-and-coming courses. Let's see what else do we got. What they want to train and get people trained and programmed for. Hazardous Materials Technician, Hazardous Waste Operations and Emergency Response. Oh, those ones are already done. Oh, wait. Well, no, they got some listed. Must be multiple dates. January 2023, April, and then August, again, August 7th. So they run multiple course dates, it looks like. Just like a regular certification agency, really. Hazardous Waste Operations. Highway Cargo Tank Specialty. Homeland Security Exercise Evaluation Program. HCEP. That's another program, like I said, aside from NEP and from the DEM and the other emergency management agencies. The HCEP is another one. Hospital Emergency Response Team Training. Let's see, Incident Command System Emergency Operations Center. Introduction to Radiological, Nuclear, and Weapons of Mass Destruction Operations. Interesting. You have to request that course, though. You see it says right there, request this course for that one. Yeah. Michigan Specific Core Emergency Management Knowledge Requirement. Professional Emergency Management Designation Exam. How about that? Well, that's special. Propane Emergencies. What do you know? Oh, Railcar Specialty for Hazardous Materials Technician. September 6th to September 8th. Oh, interesting. I know they list the courses right out here. There's another one, Hazmat, Weapons of Mass Destruction Awareness, Radiological Awareness for Hazmat. Yeah, and then they list out what the course descriptions are here on their site. I had to look up the ones for Nevada separate. They were separate links, but this was all printed right out. Yeah, I want to look up. Let's see. Chemistry of it, confined space, rescue, flammable gas. Hang on. I want to skip through this. This is 30 minutes. Oh my goodness. I doubt anybody's even still watching. If you're still watching, you know what I say. You know what you are. You're awesome. So anyway. Highway cargo tank specialty. There's that. Just course description. But I want to get to the one real quick before I end this video. Let's see. One of the last ones, wasn't it? Propane emergencies. Yeah, that was one right there. Yeah. Let's see what the description is for the rail car specialty for hazardous materials technician. The goal of the competencies at this level shall be to provide the hazardous materials technician with a tank car specialty with the knowledge and skills to perform tasks safely. It is in compliance with NFPA 472, Chapter 12.1.2.1. When responding to hazardous materials or weapons of mass destruction incidents, the hazardous materials technician with a tank car specialty shall be able to perform the following tasks. Analyze a hazardous materials WMD incident involving tank cars to determine the complexity of the problem and potential outcomes by completing the following tasks. Interesting. Determine the type and extent of damage to tank cars. Predict the likely behavior of tank cars and their contents in an emergency. Want to do that before? Plan a response to an emergency involving tank cars. Plan a response to an emergency involving tank cars within the capabilities and competencies of available personnel, personal protective equipment, and control equipment by determining the response options. Offensive, defensive, and non-intervention for a hazardous materials WMD incident. Implement or oversee the application of the planned response to a hazardous materials WMD incident involving tank cars. NFPA 472. Interesting. Your prerequisite, though, is a hazardous materials technician. Yeah. There's your cost. Interesting, huh? Some of these you can get free. Some of these are free. There's one of them that's free right there. It's Hazmat WMD Awareness. The primary purpose of this online module is to introduce private and public service personnel to the first responder concept and to emphasize the importance of the first responder safety at hazardous materials incidents, whether those incidents are intentional or accidental. Yeah, that's a free, no-cost one. But anyway, I want to go into a few more of these exercise programs and stuff from the data as well and talk about that a little bit more. But this video is already way too long. And anyway, you can look up this information yourself. You can go right to your own state's emergency management pages. And every state and every city has their own training courses and their own emergency management systems where they're implementing a lot of this stuff, where they're doing these exercises and having these discussions and then influencing policy with the data and the results. So yeah, stay mindful, folks. And there's definitely more to come with this because I want to share what FEMA's guide and response plan was for people in churches and religious organizations. There's some other interesting paperwork that I have that I want to share yet, so please stay tuned. And again, if you're still watching, oh my goodness, yeah, you're pretty freaking cool, and I appreciate you. Please stay safe and mindful.